Okay, so in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to set up everything using Docker. Now, Docker is something quite advanced. If you don't know Docker, don't recommend you follow this lecture because it could be quite surprising and quite difficult to do. If you know Docker, this is the lecture for you, and you've already installed Docker, so I expect everything to work. Now, the project I'm going to search for is called Kafka Stack Docker Compose. So you go on Google and type Kafka Stack Docker Compose, and as you can see, the first link on GitHub is my link. This is my project, so Simple Steph is me, and this is the Kafka Stack Docker Compose. This project basically allows you to create a fully working Kafka stack. So I invite you to check out the README and to read everything in there because it's quite important for you to understand what is happening in there. But I will just show you quickly how to make it work for your use case. So I will clone or download, and so you can clone using Git or just download a zip. When you've done that, extract it, and I'll see you. Okay, so I am in my directory, and if you look at the content of it, we can see the exact same content than the one from GitHub. So what we are interested into launching is a single Zookeeper and a single Kafka broker. So if we go to the README on the page, we can see how to do this. The requirements is to have Docker. Now you need to expose your Docker environment. So for me, my Docker IP is 127.0.0.1 because my Docker is running locally. But if you have Docker Toolbox, you may want to export Docker host IP to be equals to 192.168.99.100. For us, because we use Docker on our own machine, we can specify this or not even specify it because it's the default value. Now we scroll down and we see that there's a single Zookeeper and single Kafka. And so to run, we just run the first line. This will start the Kafka. And to stop it, we'll just do the second line right here. So let's go and have a try at this. So I'll do Docker Compose -F to reference the file zk single, Kafka single, and up to create everything. Now this will need the Docker daemon to be started. So you go ahead and you start your Docker daemon, and then you can run the command safely. So now I run my command, press enter. And as you can see, our Kafka is getting started, and you should see a lot of log all of a sudden going through your laptop. When everything is ready, the log will stop coming and you should be all good. Now, how do we know we're all good? Well, we can do a Kafka topics command and we'll run it against Zookeeper on 127.0.0.1 to 181. We'll do a create. The topic name will be test. We'll test it with partitions equals 3 and the replication factor of 1. Now, as we can see, the topic has been created, test topic has been created. Now we can try a Kafka console producer. So my bootstrap, my broker list is going to be 127.0.0.1.9092, and the topic is going to be test. So I'll say hello world, blah, blah, blah. I'll just stop this. And now using a Kafka console consumer, using my bootstrap server to be equal to 127.0.0.1.9092, the topic being test, and we'll read from beginning. So here we go, we have our data. And so our Kafka cluster is working. All of this was launched using Docker. Now, if you want to stop it, you do Docker compose, and instead of up, you can do stop for stopping it. And this will basically stop your Kafka cluster and ensure that it is shut down properly. And then if you want to get rid of it entirely, you do this, and instead of down stop, you do down, and down goes ahead and removes everything. So this is done for you for making it work. If you're curious about Docker and how it works, you can just look into this file and see how I configured it. To be honest, it's quite tricky and complicated, so don't look too hard if you don't understand it. It took me about a year and a half to get this right. So here's the perfect combination, and that's why this work is so important. But that's it. I just show you how to use Docker Compose to create a small development Kafka cluster with one broker on your machine.